You can have the best intentions. You can write in your daily planner. You can have a weekly planner that you write in. But if your thoughts are not aligned with what you've actually written down in the planner, then you're essentially setting yourself up for failure, at least in my opinion. Have you ever bought a planner and it's super cute and you're really excited and pumped about getting your life together, and then you write in it for a few weeks and then you just stop using the planner? Or do you write in your planner diligently? Maybe you even decorate your planner, but you end up just using the planner as a form of procrastination because you don't actually follow through on the plans that you wrote down in the planner? If you've ever had these issues, stick around, because in this video, I am going to share why planners may not work for you and what to do instead to manage your time. So if you're new here, please be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. I post content about time management, personal development, and self-care. So let's get into the video. So one of the reasons why your planner probably does not work for you is because you don't manage your mind and your thoughts around the goals that you wrote in your planner. Now, I firmly believe that no time management tool, planner, or intervention is going to work if your thoughts are not aligned with the actions that you're trying to carry out. So if you're someone who writes in a planner but you don't follow through, more than likely it's not an issue of the planner or the type of planner that you use isn't working for you. It's likely a cognition issue. And what I mean by that is you are likely thinking thoughts and having negative feelings whenever you go to carry out certain tasks. So that may lead you to putting them off, procrastinating, losing time, and having issues with time management. Because so much of this is we are trying to avoid feelings when we don't follow through on what we intend to do. We set the best intention and we set the best plan. We write out our plans in our planners. But when it comes time for us to carry out that task, we may start rationalizing all the reasons why we do not need to do it right then. I see this a lot when it's time for me to write papers for publication. I'm a professor and a researcher and a scholar, so writing is something that brings up a lot of unpleasant emotions for me on some level. And so because of that, I've started to be very mindful of the thoughts that I'm thinking whenever I go to sit down and write. I start watching my thoughts around this, and I'm often thinking things along the lines of, I don't feel like doing this. This is so miserable. I don't want to look at these articles anymore. I'm just so ready to get this paper out of my possession. And I love what I do. I love writing and researching, but I still have those thoughts. So if that is my thought process about writing and what I'm working on, then it doesn't really matter that I wrote in my planner that I was going to write from 2 to 4 p.m. on Thursday. If I'm thinking those thoughts and feeling miserable as a result, I'm probably just going to do something else to try to avoid that. So what I've learned is that you can have the best intentions. You can write in your daily planner. You can have a weekly planner that you write in. But if your thoughts are not aligned with what you've actually written down in the planner, then you're essentially setting yourself up for failure, at least in my opinion. And I think one of the most common reasons why planners don't work for people and may not work for you is because we often don't manage our minds and our thoughts around our tasks and goals that we're actually writing in the planner. And I think this is especially true if we are planning out goals that scare us. So for example, if you want to start a side hustle and a small business, or going back to grad school, or writing a book, you may plan out those tasks diligently, and you still might not follow through on those plans because you likely have some mindset issues, usually some self-doubt, maybe pepperings of self-loathing thoughts that is likely preventing you from executing the plans that you write down in your planner. Hey, before we get into the second reason why your planner probably isn't working for you, I wanted to tell you about the daily self-care plan that I created. So if you are someone who struggles with feeling overwhelmed on a day-to-day basis, one of the best ways that you can support yourself is by sticking to your daily self-care rituals. I created a free guide, a practical daily self-care plan that can serve as a template and help you come up with your ideal daily self-care routine and rituals. This guide lays out what I recommend that you do in the morning, afternoon, and evening to feel more supported and less overwhelmed. Okay, so let's get into reason number 2, why your planner probably isn't working for you. So the second reason why your planner probably isn't working for you is because you don't have systems for executing those plans. So Atomic Habits is a book by James Clear, and he talks about the importance of focusing on systems instead of goals. And he says that you can use your goals to like make plans, but you want to focus on completing the actual steps in the process rather than that end result. So he uses the example of a basketball coach who wants to win a championship and says that the basketball coach should focus on like the team's day-to-day practices, and that's going to be more effective than just thinking about, oh, I want to win a championship and focusing on that end result. So I agree with this, and I would add that you can think about your planner from this perspective as well. So let's say that you spend all this time writing out these long to-do lists for the week and what day you're going to complete them in your planner, okay? But when that day arrives, you don't have any real roadmap to help you execute those tasks and complete those tasks on a specific day. So a lot of times you may end up just procrastinating or scrolling through Instagram because you don't have a clear roadmap and process or a system in place to actually execute those plans. I know for me, anything that I have to do regularly, I systematize so that I can save time and be more efficient, and I'm not battling my brain and the uncertainty that goes on that may make me want to just put it off until later. So for example, I'm a professor, and oftentimes students in my classes are assigned similar assignments. So what often happens is students, when they send me emails about assignments, oftentimes they're asking the same questions because I've given these assignments in previous semesters. So what I'll do is, instead of writing out a new response every time, I will write out kind of these canned responses that I can just copy and paste and send to students whenever I need to. So if I look at my to-do list and see that I have respond to student emails at 9 a.m., I already have a very clear system, a clear process for how I'm going to tackle those, and it eliminates a lot of that uncertainty that would make me not follow through on the plans that I set for myself. So the last reason why you may not be following through on using your planner and the tasks that you plan out is because you lack discipline and or accountability. Okay, so when you lack discipline in a particular moment, you are not following through on the plans that you previously made for yourself. And I think lacking discipline and or accountability are common reasons that your planner may not work for you. And I think this happens because the initial rush of excitement that you had when you set those plans is gone once it's time to actually follow through. So your brain wants to seek pleasure and comfort. So scrolling through Instagram, for example, is probably going to sound more attractive at 11 a.m. on a Saturday versus whatever you wrote down in your planner. You feel negatively, or you start thinking thoughts that make you feel negative about carrying out that task, and oftentimes that makes you not follow through and do the task. And another reason related to discipline why you may not be sticking to your planner is because you lack accountability. And I put discipline and accountability together because I think if you do not have self-discipline in this particular moment or season in your life, or if you think of yourself as someone who is not a self-disciplined person, I think that's a muscle that can be strengthened. And I think one of the ways to strengthen that muscle is by securing accountability. So you may be used to letting yourself down or regularly back out of your plans that you made with yourself because you're struggling with self-discipline. However, you may not, for example, back out of the plans that you made with your best friend or your spouse or your coworker or your supervisor or your time management coach. So if you don't have accountability, that can be another reason why you are struggling to follow through on those plans. So if you are a mom who needs accountability, I have a one-on-one coaching program called Beyond Productivity that will help you create a personalized and breathable schedule while also providing you with accountability so that you can actually stick to the plans that you set for yourself. And we also work on your mindset as well. So you can learn more about my one-on-one coaching program by going to beyondproductivitymethod.com. The link is in the description box. Okay, so to quickly recap, the 3 reasons why I think your planner isn't working for you is 1, you don't manage your mind and thoughts around the goals that you wrote in your planner. 2, you don't have systems for executing those plans. And 3, you may be lacking discipline and or accountability. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my next video on the time management mistakes I made while I was in grad school and married with 3 small children, so that you know what to avoid in order to manage your time effectively. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.